Welcome to the eBusiness Playbook podcast, proudly sponsored by Academy Global, where we help you go from theory to reality, empowering you to elevate your e-business. Join our open community at the eBusiness Playbook by Academy on Facebook and LinkedIn, and check out our training packages at academyglobal.com to find out more.
Welcome to the eBusiness Playbook. You know, every business owner I know has looked at their sales figures, their website traffic, their customer data, and felt it. That overwhelming sense that there's a powerful secret hidden in those numbers somewhere. It's like having a crystal ball right there in front of you, but instead of just predicting the future, it's a tool to actively shape it, to influence every decision and really drive growth.
Absolutely. The potential is huge.
Yet, for so many of us, that promise of data, well, it often feels more like a tangled mess of spreadsheets and confusing dashboards, right?
Yeah, it can definitely seem that way at first. A bit daunting.
Well, today we're going to try and cut through that tangle. Our deep dive is called Data to Dollars, how to turn your analytics into unstoppable growth. Right. And look, our mission isn't to turn you into a data scientist overnight. That's not the goal here.
No, not at all.
Instead, we want to give you a clear strategic framework. Maybe think of it like a roadmap to leverage the data you already have, or will collect and unlock its full potential. We're talking about empowering you to move beyond just, collecting information, to making truly impactful business decisions, and maybe even confidently start what people call growth hacking.
Right, using that data-driven, rapid experimentation to quickly figure out what works and scale it.
Exactly.
And that's precisely it. The core idea today is transforming that raw data you might be sitting on into valuable insights. Insights that drive measurable improvements in your performance and, crucially, your revenue generation. And like you said, this isn't just theory for the big tech giants. It's really applicable across loads of industries: retail, healthcare, finance, you name it. So we'll cover the practical applications, maybe touch on some common challenges you might run into, and most importantly, give you some actionable strategies you can, implement pretty much right away.
Our goal is really for you to walk away with practical takeaways you can apply immediately. We don't want to overwhelm you with jargon.
Definitely not.
We want to make sure you feel truly empowered to demystify your data and make it work for your business. When we talk about data analytics, it sounds like a very modern, sort of high-tech thing.
It often does.
But if you trace it back, it's actually rooted in something really fundamental, like humanity's basic desire to understand the world around us. Think about ancient civilizations, tracking stars to predict seasons for farming, right? Or explorers charting new territory.
That's a great analogy.
It's simply the process of collecting, cleaning, analyzing, and interpreting information to solve problems and guide decisions. It's a very human thing, really, just now applied to understanding customers and business trends.
And what's truly fascinating there is how quickly that basic human desire evolved into, a business imperative. Historically, data analysis often meant painstaking manual calculations, hours and hours of work.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
But as the sheer volume and complexity of data just exploded, so did our tools. We went from those manual efforts to sophisticated software like Tableau and Power BI in what really felt like the blink of an eye.
Right.
And this wasn't just a tech shift, it was a fundamental business one. Companies across all sorts of sectors quickly realized that data-driven insights weren't just for scientists anymore. They were absolutely essential for getting a competitive edge and, fueling real growth.
So that brings us right back to our Data to Dollars promise. It's all about empowering your organization, whether you've got a small team or a larger company, to leverage data analytics for significant, measurable business growth. It emphasizes having structured strategies, focusing on the right key performance indicators, the KPIs, and cultivating a genuine data-driven culture throughout your entire operation. It's about moving from that tangled mess we talk about to a clear, actionable vision.
Absolutely. But, like any powerful tool, it's not without its nuances and potential pitfalls. And this raises a really important question. How do we harness this power effectively without falling into some common traps?
That's key.
You might have heard concerns about, say, data privacy, or maybe the risk of over-relying only on the quantitative analysis. It's a critical balancing act, isn't it? Balancing human insight with what the numbers are telling us.
It really is. Where do you see businesses most often stumble with that?
Well, I think one common trap is simply getting overwhelmed, like you mentioned earlier.
Collecting everything.
Exactly. You start collecting everything, and suddenly you're drowning in numbers, not actual insights.
Which leads us perfectly to the bedrock of any successful data strategy. Key performance indicators, or KPIs.
The foundation.
These aren't just random numbers. They are your critical tools. They provide measurable insights to see if you're succeeding, to refine your strategies, and even to anticipate challenges maybe before they become huge problems.
That predictive element is powerful.
But, a lot of businesses drown because they track too many KPIs. The real trick isn't just knowing what a KPI is.
Right.
It's figuring out the one or two that truly move the needle for your specific goals.
Focus is key.
Yeah, like, did you know for some e-commerce sites, tracking time on page can actually be misleading?
How so?
Well, a shorter time might actually mean a quicker purchase decision, which is good, rather than someone losing interest. So context matters hugely. KPIs are basically your business's personal scoreboard, telling you if you're winning and where you need to adjust your game plan.
That's a fantastic point about focus and context. And to really get those right KPIs working for you, you absolutely need a structured approach to your data strategy.
Yeah.
It really begins with recognizing that data isn't just information. It's a transformative asset for your business.
A mindset shift, almost.
Exactly. You need to clearly define the scope of your strategy. And crucially, you have to actively engage stakeholders from different parts of the business. That means talking to marketing, operations, sales, getting everyone involved.
Why is that so important?
Well, for example, involving your sales team early ensures your data strategy actually identifies metrics that help them achieve their goals, not just metrics the tech team thinks they need,
Makes sense. Avoids building something in a silo.
Precisely. That stakeholder engagement fosters crucial buy-in and ensures everyone's on the same page, rowing in the same direction.
Okay, and building on that, it sounds like it's vital to assess your current, let's call it data fitness.
Yes,
You
definitely.
can't really chart a course without knowing where you're starting from, right? So that includes looking at your data management practices, maybe the analytics talent you have on your team, if any, and just the general data literacy skills across your organization. How comfortable is everyone with numbers?
And there are tools that can help with that assessment. You mentioned the Gartner IT score, for instance. They help you measure where you are and prioritize areas for improvement, guiding where you should focus your energy and resources first.
Good to know there are frameworks for that.
And remember, a data strategy isn't some static document you write once and then file away.
Right, it needs to live and breathe.
Exactly. For it to stay relevant and effective, you need a framework for continuous improvement. Think of it like a living thing, constantly adapting. This means regularly measuring the impact of your data initiatives, seeing what's working, what's not, and then adjusting your strategies based on evolving goals and, of course, what your competitors are doing. It's an ongoing conversation with your data.
Okay, now here's where, for me, it gets really interesting. This is the magic moment, right? Turning those insights you've gathered into actual concrete actions.
Where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, it's not just about having the insights, it's about what you do with it.
Yeah.
Data insights have to be translated into specific initiatives that drive measurable changes.
Can you give an example?
Sure, I know of a small B2B SaaS company. They discovered, just through simple descriptive analytics, looking at what happened, that their most loyal customers weren't the ones constantly clicking on their new feature announcements.
Oh, interesting. You'd think the opposite.
Right. They found it was the ones who never click the What's New button. The insight was, stop pushing new features so hard to everyone, and instead start proactively showing existing power users how to get more value from the core product they already love.
Focusing on depth, not breadth.
Exactly. A simple insight, but it led to a 15% increase in retention in just 2 months.
Wow, that's significant.
It is. So this could mean recommending specific actions, creating implementation playbooks, or even using automation tools to roll out changes quickly. It's about ensuring insights drive tangible growth, not just, sit in a report.
That's a perfect illustration. And to help you frame this whole process, it might be useful to think about the 3 distinct ways data and analytics, or DNA, can add value. First, you can think of DNA as a utility.
Okay, like electricity or water.
Kind of. It means making data broadly accessible to all stakeholders in your organization. Easy platform availability, quick access. This really empowers your entire team, letting anyone pull the basic info they need.
Got it. Democratizing data.
Exactly. Second, DNA as an enabler. Here, data supports specific business goals through customized solutions. An example might be using analytics to improve conversion rates on a specific page of your website by optimizing the user journey there.
So more targeted problem solving.
Right. And third, DNA as a driver. This is where data and analytics become a catalyst for creating entirely new revenue streams or fostering innovation. Maybe it leads to developing a whole new product based on unmet needs you identified, or even shifting your business model.
Okay, utility enabler driver.
Yeah.
That's a helpful framework. And to make this even more concrete, especially for people focused on sales, let's talk specific KPIs you could apply right away.
Good idea. Let's get practical.
First up, lead conversion rate. Super basic, but super important. How effectively are your sales teams turning prospects into actual paying customers?
A core efficiency metric.
A higher rate tells you your engagement strategies are likely working well. Then there's the relationship between customer lifetime value, CLV, and customer acquisition cost.
The classic ratio.
Yeah. CLV is the total revenue you expect from a customer over their entire relationship with you. CL is what it costs you to get that customer in the door.
And you want that CLV to be significantly higher than the CA.
Exactly. A healthy, favorable ratio there is a clear signal your marketing and sales efforts are sustainable.
Absolutely critical for long-term health.
And finally, maybe average purchase value, APV, and average order value, AOV.
Yeah.
Understanding the typical spending per transaction or across multiple items in an order helps you spot patterns.
Right, like identifying opportunities to upsell or cross-sell effectively.
Precisely. These are immediately actionable metrics that speak directly to your bottom line. No complex modeling needed to start seeing value. Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the toolkit, the actual instruments that help you peer into that crystal ball we mentioned.
The technology part.
Yeah. And navigating the sea of available tools can feel overwhelming, honestly. There are so many options.
There really are.
But the key is finding the right tools for your specific needs. You don't need everything. There are tools tailored for different aspects of your business. For instance, if you're focused on your social media and online reputation,
Which is huge these days.
platforms like Hootsuite or Sprout Social are essential for monitoring what people are saying, your brand positioning online. Then for understanding user interaction on your website, how people actually use it. Tools like Hotjar or Crazy Egg are fantastic. They give you visual heat maps, session recordings.
So you can see exactly where users click, scroll, maybe where they get stuck or confused.
Exactly. If your business relies heavily on a mobile app, then mobile analytics tools like Flurry or Mixpanel are key for tracking app performance and user engagement within the app.
Yeah, different environment, different metrics.
And of course, for online retailers, e-commerce analytics platforms, think Shopify Analytics, if you're on Shopify, or Magento Business Intelligence are indispensable.
Tracking sales, cart abandonment rates, customer lifetime value specifically for e-com.
Right. Very tailored.
And beyond those specialized tools, you'll definitely need solutions for more general data analysis and visualization, just to make sense of all the numbers coming in.
Okay, what are some common ones there?
Well, for website traffic analysis, Google Analytics is still the standard for many, and Looker Studio, which used to be Google Data Studio, is great for visualizing that data.
Right, most people have probably encountered Google Analytics.
Yeah. If you're focusing more on sales and customer data, tools like Microsoft Power BI, Tableau, or Click are really powerful options for slicing, dicing, and visualizing.
Those seem like the big players in visualization.
They are. Now, for most businesses, tools like Google Analytics or Tableau are perfectly adequate, even powerful. But if you're dealing with truly enormous, constantly flowing data sets, think millions of transactions on minute, huge scale.
Like maybe a massive online platform.
Exactly. Then you might need specialized powerhouses like Apache Spark or Looker, the enterprise version, to handle that sheer volume and complexity. It's like needing a supercomputer versus a regular calculator.
Gotcha. Different scales need different tools.
But what's great is the flexibility now. You can opt for no-code or low-code solutions like KNIMA or RapidMiner, which use visual drag-and-drop interfaces. Power BI is also moving heavily in that direction. Or, if you or your team are comfortable with coding, you can leverage languages like Python, R, or SQL for much greater customization and power.
So, options for different technical skill levels.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, for beginners or even for quick basic analysis, Microsoft Excel is still an excellent starting point. Don't underestimate it.
Good old Excel. Still relevant.
Always.
And it gets even smarter, doesn't it? We're seeing artificial intelligence, AI, being integrated into many of these tools now.
Yes, that's a huge trend.
Platforms like Domo, Tableau, Power BI, they're increasingly using AI features for things like predictive analytics, forecasting,
Or natural language processing, where you can literally ask questions of your data in plain English.
which makes it much more intuitive to explore and find those deeper, maybe more nuanced insights. It makes that crystal ball even clearer, potentially.
That integration really leads us nicely into the effective methodologies for using this data, the practical steps, to go from that raw data to actual actionable insights.
Okay, so how does that process typically work?
Well, it really all starts with data collection and preparation. First, you need to identify your requirements. What data do you need? How would you categorize it? By age, location, purchase history.
Defining the questions first.
Precisely. Then you collect it from your various sources, online platforms, maybe IoT sensors, customer surveys, sales records. And here's the absolutely crucial part, especially if we want to avoid that garbage in, garbage out problem we talked about.
The cleaning stage.
Yes, you must clean and organize that data thoroughly. This means removing duplicate entries, handling missing values appropriately, maybe standardizing formats. Ensuring data integrity is paramount because bad data inevitably leads to bad decisions. No way around it.
Okay, so data's collected and cleaned. What next?
Then come the actual types of data analytics. And they sound technical, but the concepts are pretty straightforward. First is descriptive analytics. This simply tells you what happened.
Like looking in the rearview mirror.
Exactly. Your sales changes last quarter, engagement trends on social media posts. It helps you understand your current and past performance. Then you have predictive analytics. This uses that historical data to forecast what will likely happen in the future.
Okay, looking ahead now.
Right. Imagine predicting future sales trends based on past patterns or anticipating customer needs before they even express them.
That sounds powerful.
It is. And then, arguably the most powerful, is prescriptive analytics. This doesn't just predict the future, it actually tells you what you should do about it.
Giving recommendations.
Yes, providing actionable recommendations to optimize your decisions, like suggesting the best time to launch a marketing campaign for maximum impact based on predicted customer behavior.
Wow.
But before you jump into those, exploratory data analysis, or EDA, is vital. This is where you just kind of visually poke around in the data, look for patterns, identify strange outliers, test your initial assumptions using summaries and charts. Get a feel for it.
Makes sense. Don't run before you can walk.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is how these different types of analytics often build on each other. You start by describing the past, then predict the future, then prescribe actions. It's a progression. Finally, visualization and insight generation. This involves using those tools like Tableau or Power BI to represent complex data clearly, turning raw numbers into charts and graphs that make sense, transforming data into those clear, actionable insights for you and your stakeholders.
Making it understandable for everyone, not just the data experts.
Precisely.
But, just like that tangled mess of spreadsheets we started with, this whole data journey isn't always a smooth, straight road, is it?
No, definitely not. There are hurdles.
It's really important to acknowledge the real-world hurdles businesses often face when trying to leverage data effectively. Data quality and accuracy is a huge one. We keep coming back to it. But if the data is bad,
Your whole analysis is flawed. Foundational issue.
then there's the complexity of integration with existing systems. Trying to make new shiny tools talk to your older infrastructure can be a nightmare sometimes.
Oh yeah, compatibility issues are common.
Skill and resource constraints are also very real. Many businesses struggle to find people with the right data skills, or they find the advanced tools are just too expensive.
The talent gap is definitely a challenge.
And there's the flip side risk. Over-reliance on data. Getting so focused on the numbers that you ignore crucial human insight, experience, or intuition.
Finding that balance again, it's critical.
And then finally, just data interpretation. You can have clean data and great tools, but if you misread what the data is actually telling you, you can end up with misguided strategies.
Absolutely. Drawing the wrong conclusions is just as bad as starting with bad data.
So it sounds a bit daunting again.
Well, the good news is there are actionable solutions. You can empower yourself and your team to overcome these challenges.
Okay, let's hear them. How do we tackle these?
All right, so to address data quality, you really need to establish clear data governance frameworks. This means setting rules and processes, doing regular data audits, having defined data cleaning procedures. Make it systematic.
Be proactive about quality.
Exactly. For integration issues, effective planning for integration is key. Do thorough assessments of compatibility before you invest in and try to implement new tools. Don't just jump in.
Measure twice, cut once, basically.
Precisely. To combat skill shortages, investing in training and development for your current employees can be incredibly effective. Upskill your existing team. Foster that data-driven culture from within, rather than always trying to hire externally.
Empower your own people. I like that.
Regarding over-reliance, it's about consciously balancing data with human insight. Encourage a culture where data informs judgment but doesn't replace it. Involve diverse teams in looking at the results.
Get different perspectives.
Yes. And finally, for continuous improvement and avoiding interpretation errors, promoting continuous improvement through regular feedback loops with stakeholders is vital. Talk about the results, ask questions, challenge assumptions. It helps refine processes and adapt strategies effectively.
Those sound like very practical steps any business could start thinking about. And, to really show how powerful this growth hacking with data can be, let's look at some inspiring examples from, well, the data-driven giants.
Yeah, case studies are always helpful.
Okay, take Amazon's recommendation engine. Everyone's experienced this.
Customers who bought this also bought.
Exactly. They use something called collaborative filtering. Basically, the system looks at what you like, what similar users like, and then recommends other things those similar users enjoyed.
It's like having a million smart shopping buddies.
Pretty much. And it significantly boosts their conversion rates, keeps people buying. Or think about Netflix and their use of data science for content creation and recommendations.
Oh, yeah, they're famous for it.
They extensively use A/B testing, trying different versions of things to constantly refine their recommendation algorithms and even the user interface itself. All optimized for viewer satisfaction and keeping you subscribed.
They even test different artwork for the same show to see what gets more clicks.
Right. It's that granular. And one more. Uber's dynamic pricing model, or surge pricing.
Yes. Sometimes controversial, but data-driven.
Very data-driven. It uses real-time data analysis on supply, drivers available, and demand, riders needing lifts, to adjust pricing instantly.
The goal being to maximize revenue during peak times while also trying to incentivize more drivers to come online, maintaining service efficiency.
These aren't just huge companies showing off. They're demonstrating principles that businesses of all sizes can learn from, even if on a smaller scale.
Absolutely. And if you zoom out a bit from those specific examples, these successful case studies all share some key components. There's always clear problem identification. What are we trying to solve or improve? Then systematic data collection, robust analysis, the intelligent application of the insights found.
Not just finding them, but using them.
Exactly. And crucially, tracking measurable results to see if it actually worked. These examples really show that data isn't just for making things more efficient. It's a genuine driver of innovation and, ultimately, customer delight.
Wow. Okay. What a journey we've been on today. Feels like we covered a lot of ground.
We did indeed.
We started by hopefully demystifying data a bit, making it less scary. Moved into building structured strategies with those powerful KPIs. Explored the toolkit for growth hacking, from social media tools to advanced analytics.
Touched on navigating the common challenges.
Right, the hurdles. And found some inspiration from those industry leaders. This deep dive truly was about helping you turn your analytics into unstoppable growth for your business.
Taking control of that data.
Yeah, taking that initial, maybe confusing crystal ball and learning how to read it clearly and use it effectively.
And looking ahead, the future of data is only going to get more exciting, more integrated into everything.
What do you see coming down the pike?
Well, we're definitely going to see increasing integration of AI and machine learning to automate more complex analysis and processes, making insights even faster to obtain. And data will continue to revolutionize product development through constant A/B testing and real-time user behavior tracking. Products will adapt almost live. For instance, something called time series analysis, which is all about spotting patterns and predicting future trends based on data collected over time. That's going to become more accessible, allowing businesses to link their internal insights with broader market shifts for incredibly proactive decision-making.
Staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly. And this really raises an important question for everyone listening. How can you start preparing your business for this evolving data landscape today?
That's the key takeaway, isn't it? So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
I think the most powerful data isn't just about the sheer volume of what you've collected. It's really about the questions you dare to ask of that data, and perhaps more importantly, the actions you're brave enough to take based on those answers.
Insight plus action.
Are you just collecting numbers, letting them pile up? Or are you truly starting to build a data-driven legacy for your business? We really encourage you to reflect on just one principle or maybe one tool from today's deep dive. Just one thing that you can explore or maybe even implement this week. Take that first small step to making your data truly grow for you.
For the complete PDF with all the insights from this episode, head over to academyglobal.com. There, you'll find the PDF, plus other valuable podcasts and resources to fuel your business growth and career success. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.